This video is going to be a film study look at how the Seahawks defensive tackles played a huge role in their defense standing up in key moments against the New England Patriots to pull out a 23-20 win in overtime on the road and move to 2-0. Leonard Williams, Byron Murphy, Jarran Reed, I think combined for 14 tackles, 2 sacks overall. Those guys played with a tremendous amount of force inside against a Patriots team that was hell-bent on running the football at times and, in fact, had success doing so. To a lesser extent, I'll talk about Boye Mafe, Derek Hall, and a couple of other guys. Cover the blocked kick late in the fourth quarter by Julian Love. It's a great scheme by the Seahawks to bring Oline and Love off the edge and put that outside guy for the Patriots, the wing, in a lot of conflict in terms of having a rusher to his outside and his inside gap and trying to deal with both of them at the same time. I think I've got 9 plays queued up here that I picked to try to give you an idea of the quality of play that those guys put forth, particularly Leonard Williams. He had a sack and a half. I think he had 2 or 3 other quarterback hits. This first play is actually going to be a chase down sack from behind by one of my favorite players. You knew it was coming, Boye Mafe. Off the edge against the left tackle. I personally think Boye Mafe is headed for a potentially all-pro type season. There's just so much activity when you watch the film, run plays, pass plays, what have you. He's everywhere. Reed and Williams are on at D-tackle. I'll try to highlight the D-tackle situation on each particular snap. Feel free to watch it if you want, but we're, for a moment, talking about Boye Mafe swatting with the outside hand to try to break the posture. Doesn't work. Second effort, he's clearly getting a hand up under the chin from the left tackle. No pressure from anyone else on the quarterback, Jacoby Brissett, either, and Brissett didn't throw for a whole lot of yards. And then the athleticism to be able to chase down from behind. Boye Mafe is borderline unfair, if you ask me, how athletic he is and the type of motor and pursuit skills that he's got. Third possession, this is going to be a tackle for loss. I think it's Jones over here, 55. Tackle's going to step to him. Jones stunts inside. Hall from the backside, also a very athletic, big and strong edge defender. Seattle's got a great trio there. Personally, I'd like to see Tyus Bowser out there on the field at some point because he's one of my favorite players that I've ever done film study videos of. But from a size, speed, and strength perspective, I'm not sure that he matches up with those 3 guys, how big and strong and fast they in fact are. So you've got Murphy on as a shade here, and I will highlight his ability as a shade nose tackle on 1 run play and 1 pass play in this video. But on the snap, motion across, dive back in the opposite direction, and you can see that Jones has jumped inside here, totally disrupted the blocking flow, forced a running back to bounce it. Well, Witherspoon is there for that as well. Tackle for loss between Hall and Jones on the backside. We'll get to more defensive tackle-oriented breakdown here. Moving forward, third possession. Mike Macdonald uses this often. I don't know how many times per game. And when I say this, what I mean is, and these guys get lined up a little bit late, so I'm going to have to do this before they're essentially lined up, is take 1 defensive tackle and cross the face when the center steps to you. And then that allows the backside defensive tackle, Williams isn't in a stance yet, they do get lined up here late, to fold over the top on run plays to this side. You're kind of safeguarded in some ways, no matter which side they run the ball to. It's a very intentional thing, if you ask me, that Mike Macdonald does. The center stepped to the nose tackle, who stunted across his face. We're talking about 97. And then Williams is going to fold over the top. I would say, in air quotes, he shouldn't be there, but he shows up on film and to the front side. We'll run this one more time. I don't see how you can watch Seahawks film up front and not talk about Boye Mafe against the tight end here. Basically a base block. Just controlling 85 the whole time. Now look, 85 is a heck of a player. I think he had 6 or 7 catches during the game, so he had an impact in the pass game. It's kind of unfair to expect someone who succeeds on the field as a pass receiver in the NFL to then turn around and try to block Boye Mafe. Moving forward, the second quarter, this is going to lead to a field goal by the Patriots. It's going to be an incomplete pass on this particular play, 3rd and 8. Williams is the defensive tackle with Murphy, and the speed to run with Brissett at his size is pretty remarkable, if you ask me. Empty set, so clearly the Seahawks know that it's a pass play. Murphy ends up running into the center. Don't think this is the Mike McDonald pick play, but it allows Williams to, again, fold over the top and pursue the quarterback who gets out of there to his right or left on the screen. Again, I don't think that this is necessarily intentional, but you see this 3 times in one game, and I think you've got to say, number one, obviously Leonard Williams is incredibly big and strong and fast and athletic for someone that size, but he's got great awareness, and you have to give him credit for that. Too often, I think we, myself included at times, just focus on the physical attributes and the explosiveness and the burst, but to see it 3 times in one game, this is the second time, I don't know that I'm going to show you the third time, him folding over the top or underneath, if you will, the other defensive tackle, it's just a high-level awareness, if you ask me. It's just a guy who plays the game at an elite level physically and mentally. Third quarter now, 6th possession of the game. Look, the Patriots did have success running the football. I'm omitting some of those plays. The interesting alignment here, I think you've got Jones on at wide 3 technique, Mafe and Hall. So Jones looks like a hybrid D-tackle edge defender type. Williams is on as the nose, and they're trying to down block him on this 3rd and 3. Him and Rayshawn Jenkins end up making the tackle. I'll try to pause it a couple of times. Maybe I need a better player that'll allow me to run slow-mo, but they're basically trying to down block him with the guard. It's an NFL starting caliber guard, and Leonard Williams is able to press and then shed to the play side, probably have a hold by 64. He's a really good player also. Williams is there. Rayshawn Jenkins. Limit him to a 2-yard gain. I believe they forced a punt on this possession because New England's backed up to like their own 30. I tried to use just end zone angle film. People tend to enjoy end zone angle film, or I get comments indicating as such after film study videos. So third quarter, this is now 7th possession, the very next possession after the punt. Like I said, about halfway through the third quarter. It's going to be an incomplete pass. Mafe with another quarterback hit. Twice yesterday, I thought that Brissett, I don't want to say got away with one, but he was in the grasp and being taken down, and then ended up getting rid of the football. Once it was Mafe, once it was Leonard Williams, that you'll see here in a moment. And smartly was able to salvage yards and have them not be charged with a sack. Williams ends up to the outside, and then the edge defender folds underneath, almost like a delayed stun. I'm not sure that this isn't just a reaction, to be honest with you, but with Rayshawn Jenkins on the outside and Williams here as well, perhaps I am incorrect, and the edge defender is, in fact, folding underneath by design. Mafe is just winning to the top side. I thought he played a brilliant game yesterday. You guys who watched the game live will have to let me know. As I said in the film study video I put out last night about DK Metcalf and JSN, I was unable to watch the game live. The Ravens, Lions, and Seahawks all played at the same time, so that's going to happen occasionally during the season. This is that same 7th possession, 3rd down now, middle of the third quarter, and this is going to be a sack by Williams, just taking the left guard and obliterating him from a wider alignment. So he's going to engage the guard, but he's taking an alignment that puts him on this track. And unfortunately for the left guard 74, he ends up on that track and then gets walked back into Brissett's face up to the other side of the defense, our right-hand side of the screen. You've got a win from Hall to the outside. So the combination of Hall winning to the top side and Williams winning on a bull rush, or basically walking the left guard back, really works out from a complementary rush standpoint. There are times where these rushes are hard-coded, meaning an edge defender from one side has a hard-coded outside rush, and an edge defender from the opposite side has a hard-coded inside rush. Do I have any idea how often those things are called? No. The only person that I have any awareness of or knowledge that played defensive line in the NFL did not often have complimentary things to say about some of the guys he played with. And so he even admitted that his experience playing D-line in the NFL, which was quite successful, he played 5 years, was such that he felt like there were guys who were chasing sacks and not running their technique. And the reason why I bring that up, in my opinion, Mike Macdonald's defense, these guys up front are going to do what they're supposed to do. And you can call that team oriented. You can say that they're well coached and so they're bought in. Whatever phrase you want to use, that would be the observation that I would make based upon watching Ravens film for 2022 and 2023. Significant amount of Michigan film from Macdonald's 1 year as the defensive coordinator there. And then the little bit of film that we have here of him in Seattle, 2 games in the regular season and some stuff that I covered from the preseason. Tackle for loss by Murphy here. I think this is a spectacular play because of what he's dealing with. A difficult block by the right guard. I'm not sure how you can watch this as an offensive line coach or offensive coordinator and tell the right guard realistically that he's going to be able to do this consistently against an athlete like a Byron Murphy. So they're pulling the left guard and the center at the same time. They're both pulling out. I call this down sweep. There's various names for it. The right guard is going to try to cut Byron Murphy. Keep in mind, the play is here. So just by leverage alignment, the right guard is absolutely out-leveraged by the nose tackle, and Murphy's able to respond to it. Sprawl, get his hands out. Great reaction. Get the tackle for loss by fronting up the running back. I think that's Hall coming in there late. It's a beautiful play. Let you see it one more time through. You have to let me know if you guys do not enjoy seeing the play multiple times. I like feedback, and so some people do not enjoy it, and to those people I apologize, but I've settled on this style generally to let it flow through 2 or 3 or 4 times. I don't think it's constructive for me to begin a play and annotate all over the screen for 2 or 3 minutes. I think it's better flow, in my opinion, to let the play run 2 or 3 times, annotate a little bit, and let you guys get multiple looks at it. You have to let me know if you agree. Moving on, fourth quarter. This is late. This was an important play. Preceding the blocked kick, you get a split sack between Williams and Murphy. This is a 3rd and 6. The Patriots are down just outside the red zone on the Seahawks 21-yard line. Guys just playing downhill once again. Boye Mafe shows up there first in the quarterback's face, dealing with the right tackle, albeit briefly. You have Williams, who looks like he's going to win to this lane, and then the guard steps down to help out the center. Murphy pretty much one-on-one. Ends up getting his body turned, swimming over the top, but staying tight with it. Him and Hall end up in the same gap, Murphy and Williams on the split sack. Let it run through one more time. You got guys up front that can win. You got guys up front that can win one-on-ones, 2-on-1s in the case of Williams. At times, there's going to be a lot of opportunities for players to get sacks when Leonard Williams is on the field in pass rush situations. Leading to the blocked kick. Love on an inside track, Woolen on an outside track, putting this wing / tight end in significant conflict. Obviously, it's an overload by the Seahawks to their right-hand side. It's a brilliant effort by Julian Love. Great effort by Tariq Woolen also. My apologies. So normally as the wing out here, you want to secure the inside gap and then late try to shoot the hands, whatever you can, to get a piece of this outside rusher. Based upon my limited experience in teaching and being around the concept, first of all, I think pad level is an issue for that guy, but look, he's got 2 players running at him, one to the inside gap, one to the outside. You've also got 4 guys here trying to block it from the right on the interior, so they're occupying, but they've isolated this fullback. Love is able to jump through, reset, get a hand on it. Amazing effort, amazing technique. You know, it's not always going to work, and that wing defender probably next week does a little bit better job of it. In the overtime, you have a 1st and 10. A big play made by Jerron Reed, but Williams here I think is going to end up getting a quarterback hit, quarterback pressure. along with Murphy, they both are able to touch the quarterback second or maybe third time that Brissett kind of throws the ball away, throws it down when he's got defenders all over him. Dangerous proposition in the NFL. Ball gets popped out or smacked out, but it worked out in his favor at least twice, maybe 3 times. Final play, a great fit on a 3rd and 1, forcing the punt in overtime. Reed, Williams, but also Dotson's going to fold over the top of Williams on this 3rd and 1, kind of split backs dive look. 1 running back, 1 receiver in the backfield. Dotson fits it up. Reed is there as well. Sorry about that. Down block on Williams. Here, Dotson folding over the top. It's a good read from the standpoint of seeing the other team's jersey. I'm talking about Stevenson, the running back. But it's 3rd and 1. Some of the short yardage backs that are just fantastic at this actually will take this here because they understood that you're being engaged and there's a free rusher, or a free hitter, inside linebacker folding over the top. I'm not saying that the guy read it wrong completely, but there are other guys. Gus Edwards will be one of them who is going to take that downhill and take the hit on the inside, but he's going to get the first down or close to it, and then you'll be able to convert on the 4th. A great play by Jarron Reed. And then obviously Dotson. I think Dotson's played quite well. You guys have to let me know what you think. He's active. It seems like he's on the field on damn near every snap. But as it relates to the 2 guys I wanted to focus on here, Byron Murphy had 4 tackles, half a sack, I think 1 quarterback hit on the sack. But he had 2 other times where he's right at the quarterback. One of them I just showed you from late in the 4th quarter prior to the block. And then Leonard Williams. I mean, he looked amazing. 4 tackles, 1.5 sacks, 3 quarterback hits, I think, otherwise. Reed had 6 tackles also. Spectacular group up front that Seattle has. I know there was, and maybe still are, concerns about the inside linebackers. You did give up a significant amount of rushing yards. I'll address that later in another video, later on in the week if you guys would like to see me do that. At this point, I haven't had enough time to watch the entire game through from a defensive standpoint. I went through and grabbed about 16 or 18 plays of the defense, the front 7, front 6, front 7, and then whittled that down to the 9 or 10 that I showed you for this video. Let me know what you think of the video that I produced here, focusing on the end zone angle, focusing on the play of, the D tackles, but the edge defenders as well. Hall, Jones, Boye Mafe, fast becoming one of my favorite players in the entire NFL. He's been a favorite of mine for a couple of years since his rookie year. I did a film study video of him in his rookie year, and I'll never forget. He played on kickoff team and ran downhill, and then on the ensuing possession had a sack and a run stop. And I thought, how many times has that even been accomplished in the NFL? I'm not sure. It probably has. It's not like baseball where you hit, for the cycle, and is that the football cycle for an edge defender? So one of my favorite guys to watch film of. I enjoy doing Seahawks videos. I'm probably going to continue to put them out late at night from a Eastern Standard Time perspective, because I understand that most Seahawks fans are probably on the West Coast, and if this benefits you and it helps me at the same time, then it's better for all of us, I hope. Appreciate you guys' time, man. If you think other Seahawks fans would enjoy this film study video and the plays that I picked to try to illustrate how well those guys played inside. Again, 14 tackles between the 3 defensive tackles I focused on, Williams, Murphy, and Reed. Then please consider grabbing a link to this video, sharing it out on social media to help this content get more reach.